Greetings one and all. Well, looky here, a kind of microphone heaven. You may notice the SV33, which I'm on at the moment, is back out of retirement. Because why not? I haven't been going about the place using it for a while, and I thought, you know what? And yes. Yes, indeed. Well, I've got my cheat sheet here. Why these mics? It's these two mics here, the SR117 and the sEV7 MK, because somebody in the comments said, what about a comparison? And I thought, yeah, because this is what, 230-ish, is it? This about 108, so if you like, twice the price of this one. Both of them are not the cheapest, both probably in the same category. In mid-range, maybe. This one pushing towards the top of what you might consider mid-range, and this one down the bottom of it, so. Condenser, of course, and dynamic, and I've got the trusty Beyerdynamic M88 2023 version, which I might compare some things with, but it's basically about these two. So what do? So the microphone name and what the manufacturer says, well, I'm not going to say much more. They say you can look that up. I've already reviewed them, already reviewed this one. Physical size comparison, as you can see, they're a pretty similar kind of design and shape, with the SE being slightly larger, but not really much in it. Weight, not really much in it. So we've got a contest on our hands. Frequency charts, I'm not going to show you because they're on there. The other one, keep this one shorter. But I can tell you, this pretty much flat, but somewhat truncated in the very low end. This flattish, with a little bit of a rise, two little, not peaks really, but two, what would you say, two lifts higher up. So we'd expect this to be a bit brighter perhaps. And this one goes low without the truncation and the proximity effect. This one has a proximity effect, but it's not on the graph. So that's kind of what we'd be expecting. Each compared sonically to the SV33. What do I notice? When I wrote this chart, it was a time when I was using the SV33, and here it is again. So let me go from the SV33 straight on to the SR117. Now I'm on the SR117. Now I'm on the SR117. What I noticed immediately was a little bit of something there. Now I'm on the SR117. Now I'm on the SR117, and not so much seems to me. Other than that, there's a bit of a family resemblance, but a bit more maybe something going on there. Let me go back. Now I'm on the SV33, so yes, I can hear, even at this distance, there's a bit of that in there. The top sounds sweeter to me on this, the 33. Going back to the 117. Very difficult thing to say there, isn't it? There's just a sweetness to me that the 117 doesn't have. I'm on the 117, and but it works very well. Similar. Huge difference in price. Talking 10 times. I don't think you can get this anymore. Somebody said I looked. There seem to be some about, but I don't know if Earthworks are still making them. But it's like 10 times the difference in price. But there are other aspects. But anyway, just for, and obviously this is not for stage. This one is. So that's that. Let's me move straight on. Then I'm going to go back to the 33 and then move straight on to the V7. So I'm back on the 33. As soon as I do that, I can hear. But then it is a wide cardioid, so you hear more. It sounds more open, perhaps because you can hear more of the room a little. Here we are. So I'm moving across to the V7 then. Now I'm on the V7. Now I'm on the V7. What do I notice? I noticed that immediately. Now I'm on the V7. I can reduce that by moving it away a little bit. There it is, coming in a bit more, but move it away a bit. What else do I notice? There is that slight lift. It's good. And it's sweet. No complaints. I can hear, obviously you've got to be very careful with the handling noise on this. It does go low, and that does come up if you fiddle, or it would do on a stand if it's on a wooden floor or something. So you need to keep that in mind. Going back then to the SV33, so I'm on the the V7. I'm on the V7. I'm on the V7. And going back to the 33. Now I'm on the 33. I'm on the 33. I'm on the 33. 33 hasn't got that bloom. If I get closer, I'm on the 33. I'm on the 33, and I can feel the strength on the lower frequencies there. This one, yeah, can you hear the top? There's a top and then there's a bottom. A little bit like that. So, which is very nice. I was going to say, it sounds dynamic to me. It sounds just a little bit old school compared to these two condensers. Well, I suppose you'd expect that. Let me go between the two in question then. Sorry about the noise, and try not to do too much of that. Now I'm on the V7. No, I'm on the SR117. I'm on the SR117. I knew I was going to have trouble with these V7s and V7MK. So the V7 is the MK. Whenever I say it, I'm just shortening it. You can see that from the, or maybe you can. And this is the SR117 Earthworks. So I'm on the 117 now. 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 I'm on the MK now. I'm on the MK now. It's got a bit of that old school, a little bit slower down there. I'm on the MK now. I'm on the MK now. I'm on the MK now. And of course, when I bring it in, we've got the proximity there. We've got the proximity there. Not so much on the 117, which why it doesn't suit me so much. It leaves me a little bit like that little hint of the Neumann, which curtails the bass in my voice and leaves that there. This is the 117 then. This is the 117. This is the 117. This is the MK. This is the MK. Is that a little bit too let's say syrupy? A little bit too warm for you? Let me roll some of the bass off on the MK. There's some of the bass gone on the MK. There's some of the bass gone on the MK. But I bring it closer. There's some of the bass gone on the MK. There's around 80 hertz turned down just a little. Going back to the Earthworks 117. The Earthworks is, I feel, we would expect it. I feel it's clearer and faster. But this MK is no slouch. This is the MK. Remember, with the bass rolled off a little bit. Going to put the bass back to flat. Put the bass back to flat. Interesting while we're there. I did wonder when I was sleeping last night almost, what happens with the 33 if I hike 2.5k a bit? This is the Earthworks SV33. This is the Earthworks SV33 with the middle turned up too much. There's a middle flat again. This is the treble on the 33 because the 33 is pretty flat. Here's the treble on the 33. There's a little bit of the treble on the 33 and a little bit of the mid turned up as well on the 33. So that gives you an idea of the kind of thing that EQ might do. I'm going to put them both flat, and now they're both flat. You get used to it, don't you? And when they're flat, you think, oh, it's gone dull. I think that's part of the trouble with the recording thing. Everyone's pushing the compression and, as I've said many times, the EQ, and it's like, when it's not there, the natural thing you go and hear an orchestra, it's like, oh. Anyway, what next then? Oh, I may as well quickly bring in the Beyerdynamic M88. This is the Beyerdynamic M88, bringing it a bit closer. Let me just compare these two as they're both dynamics. This one, the M88, about 3+ times the price. It's German and brass and all that kind of thing, so I'm sure you're paying for all this filigree stuff. Is very nice. But anyway, sound-wise, this is the M88. This is the M88. This is the Beyerdynamic M88. And this is the MK. This is the MK. Surprisingly, might be me. Anyway, I don't know where I am now. So yeah, this is the Beyerdynamic M88, bringing it a bit closer. This is the Beyerdynamic M88. And this is the MK, just checking that things are flat. Yes, they are. This is the MK. So the MK's got a bit more, has it? Buyer, dunno, 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 yeah, I'm on the MK. that comes in a bit sooner than on the Beyer, which is surprising because the Beyer's got some proximity. So they're pretty close, I would say. What else have we got now? Well, I'll just do these usual things which I've done before, but you've got to rough idea. Just quickly test this. Again, round the side handling noise, you've got to be careful. You can hear that all the time there. Coming round to the side, coming round to the side, coming round to the side, bit of a leakage there. You can hear the room, of course, because I'm pointing at the ceiling. Right, tight rejection there, tight right rejection there, and coming round to the front. Yep. This is the Earthworks. Leaves that part a bit in my voice. Coming round to the side, 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 coming round to the side. A bit of leakage there. I think they're both hypercardioid. I can't really hear too much difference between that. Might as well do the pops. This is the Earthworks. Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers. Who do you think you're fooling? Who do you think you're fooling? Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers. Who do you think you're fooling? The EMK. Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers. Who do you think you're fooling? Who do you think you're fooling? Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers. Who do you think you're fooling? Who do you think you're fooling? Peter Piper, Peter Piper. Peter Piper, Peter Piper. Pretty similar, I think. Maybe that's a little better, maybe. I'm not sure. You just have to judge for yourself. This one goes lower, so you're going to get more boo, boo than you would with this. But again, pretty similar. I wouldn't say they're different, but they are similar. Hiss. Let's see the hisses, shall I? Let's see. Interestingly, on the MK, something sounds a bit higher. I could be wrong. It's almost as if I'm doing this, which I'm going to do. I'm on the 117. I'm just going to alter what I do with my mouth to replicate what I hear, which I hope I'm not doing when I swap. I don't think I am. So I'm hearing like the difference between and almost. So let me keep them the same. All right, so the one thing left then really that I can see is I'm going to do the breath things to see if I can get some idea of the speed up there and the breath things, if you can sort of hear into it or whether it becomes slightly smeared, which I would expect with the dynamic historically, I would. Which one am I on? I'm on this. So let's do on the 33, which we'd imagine is probably going to be but it might not be, but one I imagine it would. There is a little bit of that tone there. That seems to come across on the 117. Or maybe it's in my voice and it picks it up. Similar. MK. Do you notice a little bit of grain on the MK? The MK is good, but a little bit of grain, unless it was me, on the out-breath. Between the MK and the Beyerdynamic. So it seems to me these two are clearer in that area by a margin. I don't mean big margin, but by a small margin. The Beyerdynamic. So even on the Beyerdynamic, I feel there's a little bit of it's a bit as if you're looking or listening to. Let me go back to because the Beyerdynamic's just here as a guest. It's almost as if you're listening to and watching a babbling brook. There's lovely. And you see the babbling brook looking through your lens. It's sharp and clean and sparkling. And then you just defocus a little. You can still see it's a babbling brook, and the sparkles still come through the light and stuff, but it just isn't quite so, not quite so clear. Anyway, make of that what you will. All right. Which would I choose and why? Sole mark use or as an alternative? This is the 117. Well, you use it for everything, really. As far as it's a stage mic, obviously, stage condenser. I don't use it because of the lack of the low end, which I do whatever I kind of think I do. I use the low end. I've got it there. So I use a high end as well. But the low end is lacking there a bit. And my voice, rather like the Neumann KMS105, leaves me a little bit exposed there, but not as boxy as on my voice as the 105. So, yes, I would recommend it unless you want the lower thing. In that case, not. On the MK, which you can hear is quieter, the background noise there. Well, very, there was a pop, that was me. You could use it for anything. If you don't like that low end, here's the shelving. Here's the shelving on the low end. Here's the shelving on the low, which I don't seem to like on this desk. But there you go, it's a bit too much, isn't it? Leaves that too much. But here's just rolling the bass end off just a little bit and bring the mic in just a little bit. There you go. Look at that. I mean, that. What do you want? Bring it even closer still. Yeah, just so you can get a little bit of warmth. Just roll that 80 hertz just off a tiny and go for it. Or hold it further away if you want. But if you're the person who likes to eat the mic, you're going to find that bass too much. So, what would I use this for? The MK? Well, everything. Mentioning the EQ there. I suppose you could boost the 117. Should I try that whilst I'm at it? I may as well. I'm only going to do this once. This is the 117. I'm turning the bass up. This is the 117. I'm turning the bass up. This is the 117 with the bass turned up a little bit. This is the 117 with the bass turned up a little bit. This is the VK with the bass turned down a bit. You can still hear that slightly old school, slightly soggy thing going on there. Turn the bass down a bit more. This is the This is the MK with the bass turned down. This is the MK with the bass turned down. This is the 117 with the bass turned up. This is I had enough already. I have. Okay. So that gives you an idea, maybe. Back on the 33 because it hasn't been used for a while. What would I say? The MK is pretty good. You got the EQ thing you can do if you want. You have got the handling noise. Bear that in mind. Compared to the 117. Well, the 117 you got that upper handling noise, perhaps a bit more, but less of the thud. So, no, I don't know. But generally, I don't notice the handling noise when I'm doing this kind of thing, whereas I did with that. With the MK, I did notice, but not with this. It's £100 cheaper. It's £108. The MK. You're going to have to decide for yourself. You haven't got the phantom power issue. Some of you may know I've been having issues with Earthworks, all their stage mics, and Neumann condensers as well, for some reason, with my Bose system, so I can't use them, which is why I've been back on the M88. So you won't have any of that, I'm sure. I feel sure, with a dynamic. So if you want a sort of ready to go, anyway, that's enough. See you next time.